Find the equilibrium values of P and Q in a competitive market where the demand function is P is equals to 200 Q raised to the power of minus 1 and the supply function P is equals to 30 plus 2Q. To solve this question, let us start by listing the parameters. We have the demand function is this and the supply function is 30 plus 2Q. To calculate the equilibrium price and quantity, I want you to note that at equilibrium, the demand function the demand function is equals to supply. In that case, the supply function is this and the demand function is P is equals to 200 Q raised to the power of minus 1. So I'm going to set the demand function is equals to the supply function. So the demand function is P is equals to 200 Q raised to the power of minus 1. And the supply function is P is equals to 30 plus 2Q. So we are going to equate 200Q raised to the power of minus 1 and 30 plus 2Q. I'm going to have 200Q raised to the power of minus 1 is equals to 30 plus 2Q. Don't forget, according to the law of indices, if you have x raised to the power of minus 1, x raised to the power of minus 1 can be written as 1 over x. So Q raised to the power of minus 1 can be written as 1 over Q. So I'm going to have 200 over Q is equals to 30 plus 2Q. Multiply both sides by Q. I'm going to have 200 is equals to Q into bracket 30 plus 2Q. 200 is equals to 30Q plus 2Q squared. So, of course, this is a quadratic equation because the highest power of Q is 2. So, 2Q raised to the power of 2 plus 30Q minus 200Q minus 200 rather is equals to 0. So now let us solve the value of Q in this equation. We're going to use the formula method. And before that, I can reduce this equation by dividing all through by 2. So if you divide all through by 2, I'm going to have Q squared plus 15Q minus 100 is equals to 0. Okay, now let us solve for Q using the formula method. Don't forget that the formula method is given by Q is equals to minus B plus or minus square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. So the first step is to identify your A, B, and C. If you have not watched my video on how to solve quadratic equation using the formula method, you can proceed back to the channel and watch the video. Now, the first step is to identify the A, B, and C. Here is the coefficient of Q squared. That is, and if you look at the coefficient of Q squared in this equation, the coefficient of Q squared is 1. So A is equals to 1. And B is the coefficient of Q, that is 15. So B is 15. And C is the constant term. The constant term is minus 100. So we have identified A, B, and C. The next step is to substitute the value of A, B, and C into this formula and get the value of Q. So I'm going to have Q is equals to minus B. Don't forget that B is 15. So I'm going to have minus 15 plus or minus square root of 15 squared minus 4 multiplied by A. Don't forget that A is 1 multiplied by 1 multiplied by minus 100. So all over 2 into bracket 1. Have you seen that? I just substitute the value of A, B, and C into this and got this. So Q is equals to minus 15 plus or minus square root of 15 square is 225. So I'm going to have 225 in this place. Minus 4 into bracket 1 multiplied by minus 100. That is minus 100. So minus 4 multiplied by minus 100. All this bracket all over 2 is equals to minus 15 plus or minus the square root of 225 minus 4 multiplied by minus 100. So I'm going to have 225 minus 4 multiplied by minus 100. That is plus 400 all over 2. So the value of Q is equals to minus 15 plus or minus square root of 225 plus 400. That is 625 all over 2. Q is equals to minus 15 plus or minus square root of 625 is 25. So plus or minus 25 all over 2. In this case, I'm going to have Q is equals to minus 15 plus 25 all over 2, and Q is also equals to minus 15 minus 25 all over 2. Q is equals to minus 15 plus 25, that is 10 over 2. So 10 over 2 is, and Q is equals to minus 40 all over 2. So Q is equals to 5, and Q is equals to what? Minus 20. But we are only interested in the positive Q, and the positive Q is 5. So Q equals to 5. The equilibrium quantity now is 5. So to calculate the equilibrium price, we just have to substitute the value of Q into any of the demand function or the supply function. In this case, I'm going to substitute the value of Q into the supply function. Don't forget that the supply function is given by this 30 plus 2Q. So when Q is equals to 5, 30 plus 2 into bracket 5. So P is equals to 30 plus 10. So P is equals to 40 units. Let me call this units also. So the equilibrium price is 40 and the equilibrium quantity is 5. Thank you very much for watching the video. I really appreciate you. Probably if you are not subscribed to my channel, please kindly hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that when I drop new video, you are going to get updates.